What is good, YouTube? We're back with another video of the Raw picks. Um, yeah, man. So this weekend is Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer, middleweight event. But first, let's go into see how I did on last week's event, Evloev versus Murphy, and I think I did pretty good. Whew, would you look at that? 11 out of 13, right? And the two that I missed, these dudes were talking a big game but didn't get it. And I got 4 perfect. This one, we knew that was going to be a KO round 1. Austin Lane, not the best guy. But yeah, let's get into it a little bit deeper. So first up, one fight actually got canceled. I think it was like Melissa Mullins versus somebody that missed weight. But yeah, so we had Dyer winning. I thought it was going to be a decision, but the KO was decent. Shamrock, should have known. This dude trains at Patty's gym. Dude is all talk, and then after the fight, he flipped the dude off and punched him in the back of the head. Weak, dude, weak. This guy, from this picture, I didn't think he would be jacked. He was freaking jacked. So I feel like if I would have saw his stature, I probably would have picked him. We got this one right. I thought it'd be a round 2 KO. I thought they would get out of the first round, but they didn't. In hindsight, it's heavyweights. They don't go long. We knew Tricoli was not good enough. I don't know. I don't think he's UFC material. I think he's a decent fighter, but not UFC material. And this guy came out a little bit flatter than I thought he would. I thought he would be like more kickboxing and like able to force his way, but yeah. We knew Pinto was going to get the win. I thought Pinto would get a finish, but yeah, these dudes are jacked. I doubted Nathaniel would. I won't do that again. I knew he was solid, but I thought Keita was just gonna finish him, or not finish him, but like, be more demanding. And we knew this one would be Jones. Barn burner. This was actually one of the best fights I've seen all year. Like, these guys were really mixing the martial arts. Yeah, we knew Silva was gonna get that win. Just this dude, he has a thick prescription of glasses. Like, how can he get in the cage and fight? So I just like, yeah, I couldn't believe it. But KO round 2. I thought it'd be later. I thought it'd go to the third, but decent. Still got the KO prediction right. We had CLD winning. I thought CLD would get a finish because of how Delize looked in his last fight, but Delize is still durable, still valid, but CLD should be ranked. By the time this video comes out, he should be ranked in the middleweight division, top 15. Austin Lane dropping from heavyweight to light heavyweight. We knew this was gonna happen. He just doesn't have a chin. It's very, very weird. Very weird to see. And first round KO. That's what we called. Venom Page, and like, if you guys watched that last video, you can see how I predicted this one would go. The point strike, or the point karate style, and just keeping the distance. Like, there was no damage for either guy. I think the total strikes was like 39. I don't want to lie. I don't know the numbers, but it was like nothing, man. It was like a light spar session. It was crazy. We had Luke Riley winning this one. I didn't think it would go the distance. I knew Aswell was solid, but because Luke Riley had a win over a guy that had a split decision over Aswell, I thought Riley would get the win in a similar fashion. He knocked out Bogdan Grad, and Bogdan Grad has a split decision win over Michael Aswell Jr. So we thought Luke Riley would get it done. He didn't. He got the win, but he didn't get the KO. He didn't get the flashy finish that we thought he would get. I thought he would get. And then in the main event, although I was swinging for Murphy, I personally thought this fight could have been a draw. I probably should watch it back, but I thought Murphy had 1, 2, or no. So I'll give Murphy a 2 and 3, rounds 2 and 3. The first round was very close. The first watch, I thought Murphy had the first, but since the damage was so close, or not, the damage was close and the numbers were close, you'd have to go off who was the aggressor and who was in control. So I see how Evloev was getting the first round. The second and third round definitely had Murphy, my opinion. Fourth and fifth round were obviously Evloev. So if it's a 3-2 Evloev, but he had a point deduction in the fourth round, so that turns that round to a 9-9, the finish should be 47-47, with both of them having, 3 9 rounds and 2 10 rounds. So I don't know. It was a weird one, but I like Evloev. I'm not really a fan of the Russian grapplers because of the way they fight, how it's just control you and just, sit on you and not go for the finish. Like, it's a fight, man. You want to finish the dude as fast as you can, get in, get out. But I know everyone's top level. It's not going to go like that. But dude, if you can dominate a guy and you can hold that position and grapple and stuff, get the finish, man. Get in and get out. But that's just my thinking. But yeah, we got this one right. Evloev by decision. Yeah, I would like to see Evloev fight Volkanovski for the title, but UFC doesn't give the fans what they want, so who knows? So yeah, that was last weekend. This weekend is Israel Adesanya, the return of the style bender, versus Joe Pyfer. So Joe Pyfer, he's pretty nice. I think he's like 5-2 or 7-2. I think it's 5-2. No, I think he's like 7-2 in the UFC. He's been fighting quite a lot. But Israel Adesanya, dog. He's got some decent fights right here. I know Michael Chiesa is filling in for somebody. I know that fight fell out. Who was it? Charleston Harris. Yeah, he couldn't get his visa. He couldn't make it. So Michael Chiesa stepped in. Wow, somebody got a broken nose. She withdrew. Walter Walker was supposed to fight on this one, but he couldn't. Okay. That would have been another heel hook for sure. But yeah, let's get straight into the picks. Let's see what we got. UFC Seattle. Adesanya versus Pyfer. And let's get right into these picks, man. Span these up real quick. Alrighty. We got Alexia Tainara versus Bruno Brazil. Bruno Brazil's last fight was dog water. Very bad fight. A month and 1 week ago. It was just a terrible fight. We got Dina winning by decision. Dina's good. She might even get a submission, but yeah, I would say decision right now. Tainara. Yeah. This is an easy call. Bruna, she wasn't even throwing hands in the last fight. It was terrible. Yeah, we got Alexia winning this one. Next up is Ricky Simon versus Adrian Yanez. That's kind of crazy that these guys are on the second fight. That's early prelims, dude. The second fight. And these guys are like UFC vets, basically. Like, they're not slouches. But they are coming off some losses against, some questionable foes. Raoni Barcelos and Daniel Marcos. But yeah, these guys are good, man. It's crazy. This UFC bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, they're just stocked with talent that, like, guys like Ricky Simon and Adrian Yanez are like a second fight on the card. It's crazy, man. I think in this one we're gonna go Ricky. I think his wrestling gets it done. We'll go decision. I think his wrestling gets him more points and stuff, but I don't think he finishes Yanez. Next up, Navajo Sterling versus Bruno Lopez. We're going to go Navajo Sterling. He's looked insane in his last fights, man. He is a dog. The Rodolfo Bellato fight was a little iffy for him. I watched that one. Yeah. It's kind of crazy because he looks like he's about to knock dudes out, but he hasn't got a knockout since Contender Series. He's 3-0 in the UFC, but all decisions. It's weird because, like, he has the power to finish guys, but, like, somehow he gets sloppy in his fights, which I think is just just because he's, like, amateur, not amateur, but the experience. He doesn't have a lot of experience yet, but he trains city kickboxing, so, that's Dan Hooker and Izzy, and yeah, so I think he does enough, and he can get it done. I'm gonna say he gets a KO round 2. I'm going to say he's looking good and he gets it done. Next up, we got Casey O'Neill versus Gabriela Fernandez. I'm not too familiar with either of them, but going off the stats we got right here, a little bit of reach advantage for Casey, coming off a win. Gabriela's coming off a three. She's got a 3-fight win streak. I wonder why people aren't picking her. She's beaten Judice, Kong Wong by rear naked choke. And yeah, O'Neal, on the other hand, yeah, hasn't fought in over a year, almost a year and a half. I'm going to go Gabby on this one. I'm going to go submission. I don't know the round. We'll say round 3, very late or something. I don't know. Probably decision. Probably decision, but we're going to go Gabby on this one. Marcin Tybura versus Tyrell Fortune. I haven't seen Tyrell Fortune fight. This must be okay. So he's pulling in for Walter Walker. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this guy at all, but he fought in the PFL. Lights Out, whatever that is. RUF, Rough Nation. Lights Out again. Okay, and we know Marcin Tybura. I'm not familiar with this guy, but I don't think he's UFC ready. So I'm gonna go Marcin Tybura by KO. Second round, maybe. I think it might be. Nah, we'll go Tybura by a decision. I just think he might not have the cardio. He probably gas out. It's heavyweight, dude. Like, it's hard to pick those heavyweights. We'll go KO second round, actually. Probably like TKO type of deal. Next up, we got Chase Hooper versus Lance Gibson. Lance Gibson's last loss was to King Green. That was 3 months ago. And King Green has already fought since then and got a nice win. We're going to go Hooper on this one. We're going to go Hooper. Hooper's good. He's a good fighter. He's starting to figure out his body type and like starting to fight into his body. Dude's only 26, so he's my age. And yeah, he's a good fighter. He's got, excuse me, fellas. He's got, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me. He's got the height advantage, the reach advantage. And I think his ground game is just a little bit better. So as long as he doesn't get caught in the feet by Lance Gibson, he should be good. And the thing is, Lance Gibson lost to King Green, who's no slouch, but is aging, right? So he lost to an older vet. And if you look at the wins that Chase Hooper has, like Borshev, Jordan Leavitt, who moved down to featherweight that we saw get the nice win a couple weeks back, Clay Guida, Jim Miller, so a couple older guys. Lost to Alexander Hernandez, but I think he bounces back in this one with a decision. Actually, I'm thinking submission. Round 2. Yeah. Next up, we got Ignacio Bahamundes versus Taufik Musayev. I don't know Musayev. I think this may be, okay, so it's not his UFC debut. He has a loss to Orobai by Kimura. And Bahamundes is coming off the loss to Fiziev. Bahamundes is the heavy favorite. Yeah, the age advantage, 8 years, the height advantage, the reach advantage. It just all says Bahamundes wins, you know? And we're not gonna go against that. We'll say Bahamundes. I think if he keeps it at range. I'm not familiar with this guy, but yeah. I'm just gonna go Bahamundes. And Bahamundes was streaking, man. Look, a win over Christos Giagos, who I don't know. A win over Manuel Torres. Manuel Torres is nice. He's coming up in the lightweight division, and he has a win over him. So Bahamundes is no slouch. Jaleel Turner, who we know is also a good fighter, a little bit streaky, but he's about to find his stride back in. So these are quality wins in Torres and Turner, and it was a KO on Torres and a submission on Turner. And Turner's a long guy, so for him to get a triangle choke on Turner, that's pretty impressive. And Fiziev is just a fireball, so, you know, he probably just couldn't hang. I can't remember this fight, but I don't think he could hang with Fiziev on the feet. That's probably why he lost. We'll go Bahamundes. I think he gets a finish like round 2. You know I love my round 2 TKO. This one should be a barn burner, but it's definitely not getting out the first round. We got McKinney versus Kyle Nelson. I'm gonna go McKinney. He's got the reach. He just needs to come out better, but I think he gets a submission round 2. Actually, his submissions are nice. The mounted guillotine he got on Borshev was crazy, but he also got finished by Chris Duncan. But that Chris Duncan fight, he could have won. He just, I don't know, he just didn't finish it right. Next up, Mansour Abdulmalik. So that opens up our main card. Terrence McKinney versus Kyle Nelson will open up the main card. Next up on the main card, we got Mansour Abdulmalik versus Georgi Belgarui. Now, Belgarui, I believe, he trains with Poatan and Glover Teixeira. Mansour Abdulmalik, he's pretty good. He had that draw against Cody Brundage, but he's been streaking. The last dude he beat was Stricoli, who we saw as a bit of a journeyman. But Abdulmalik is he's getting the hype train, but I don't know if he can hang with Urzi's power. He's kind of like he kind of fights just like Poatan. It's kind of crazy. But, yeah, he has a win over Azamat, a knockout win, right? So it's not just like, just like a decision. So I like Abdulmalik, but 6'2" versus 6'6", a little bit of age difference. I think Abdulmalik has a wrestling pedigree, but I can't remember. Like, I think he was a collegiate wrestler, but I don't know if he gets in on. I don't know if he gets in. If he can get inside on Belgaroy Urzi. So I'm gonna go Urzi by KO. I think he gives Abdulmalik his first loss. We'll say round 3. But I could also see Mansour winning this one if he engages in grappling, because the dude's 6'6", long guy. Shouldn't be. I haven't seen his grappling, but yeah. So we'll go. Well, yeah, we're gonna stick with this pick. Next up, we got Julian Erosa versus Laren Douglas. I don't know Laren Douglas. Okay, coming off the Contender Series. Erosa, okay. Everyone's picking this new guy. 6-year age difference. A little bit shorter. We'll ride the wave. KO. Round 2 KO for Douglas, I guess. Michael Chiesa versus Nico Price. I think Chiesa gets in the win column on this one. Nico Price is on a crazy losing streak. His last, and the thing is he's getting finished. Jacoby Smith choked him out. Varenikov put the beats on him. And if we look at Michael Chiesa, he's just fought better guys, right? So in the last 5, Nico's only win is Alex Morono, who's no longer in the UFC. If we look at Michael Chiesa's losses, Sean Brady, who's like a top contender, Kevin Holland, streaky guy, but he has talent. But yeah, Sean Brady's like a top 5 welterweight, or was at least. Tony Ferguson, so that's a older. I guess that win doesn't really mean much because Tony was on the downshift. Max Griffin also on the downshift. Court McGee also on the downshift. So, well, I'm not familiar with Court McGee actually, but I think Michael Chiesa has more in the tank than Nico Price. And yeah, Nico got knocked out 6 weeks ago, and he's already fighting again. I think that's too soon of a turnaround for him. So we'll go Michael Chiesa by decision. Yeah, by decision. And our co-main event, we got Alexa Grasso. She's finally fighting again. I haven't seen her fight in over a year? Almost a year, dude. Alexa Grasso versus Macy Barber 2. So they've already fought before, years ago. I think it was Barber's debut. It was either Barber's debut or Grasso's debut. One of them had a debut, and I think the other one spoiled the debut. It's probably Barber beating Grasso if I had to guess, but I don't know off the top of my head. So number 5 versus number 6 flyweight. This could shape up to be a title challenger next because I think Wei is gonna, try to fight Dern and get the belt back for flyweight. Yeah, and then yeah, and then this could shape up to be the next person, or actually no, Natalia Silva will be next. So this could be one step off. So like either Natalia Silva waits for the next fight, or Wei could come back and get a tune-up against the winner of this one. Who knows? I don't know. Barber is riding that win streak. She has a good win over Karine Silva 3 months ago. Barber was supposed to fight somebody, but had a health issue at the last second. She was having like seizures or something. I forget who it was, but so we got Grasso. She already had a trilogy with Shevchenko. Wow, that's crazy. So I remember when she finished Shevchenko, and then they ran it back. It was a draw, so she kept the belt, and then she got unanimous decision. But she has a win over Shevchenko, so she has the skill. But Natalia Silva's pretty good. Barber's Karine Silva. So I think Barber's in a better form, probably. So I'm going to pick Barber by decision. And we got the main event, Israel Adesanya versus Joe Pyfer. The last style bender versus body bags. Honestly, man, I want Izzy to win, but Joe Pyfer's hands are lethal, bro. They are lethal, and Izzy is Sean Strickland, DDP, Imavov. Like, it's looking like Izzy is on his way out, man. It's looking like because Izzy has a lot of mileage for mixed martial arts. But he has the height advantage, the reach advantage. I think if he gets his kicks going and slows Joe Pyfer down, he can win. Joe Pyfer can wrestle though. He has a submission against his rear naked choke. His last win, his rear naked choke against Abus Magomedov was nice. And yeah, the Al Hassan arm triangle choke, he put that guy to sleep. Granted, it was the ref's fault. The ref jumped in late, didn't see it, or like I don't know what the ref was looking at. The dude clearly tapped. I guess the ref just wanted him to take a nap. But yeah, it's crazy because Izzy is 24-5, right? And in his last 5 fights, he's gotten those 4 losses. So if you think about it, like he really should be 24-2. Izzy could have retired after the Alex fight, after the getting his revenge, because that was like a perfect send off. Like I did it, finished my career the right way. I don't know. I want to see Izzy win, so I'm just gonna pick Izzy. It's a 5-rounder. I think Joe Pyfer has the power to catch Izzy, but I think Izzy's been training good. He's in a good mindset. He took a year off since the Mavov fight, and Joe Pyfer fought 5 months ago. So Joe Pyfer he's trying to climb up those ranks. Yeah, I think Pyfer has the chance to get a KO on Izzy, but I think Adesanya will show he's back in form and get the win. So that's been my picks for UFC Seattle. A little biased, but who's not? I think if I wasn't unbiased, I'd probably pick Pyfer just because of like the optics. The younger dude, riding a win streak, knocking people out, getting finishes. But Izzy has been there. Izzy has the experience that I think Pyfer is lacking. So that's kind of why I'm going towards Izzy. And then, I want to see Izzy get a win. I want to see him get back in the win column. He's lost his last 3. It's not looking good, But as always, I appreciate you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what picks you got. And if I had to predict how many I get right on this one, I don't know. I think a lot are gonna be going the opposite way for me. So I'm gonna say a modest like 7 or 8 right on this one. I think there's a lot of toss-up fights in here that like I'm not too knowledgeable on, or like the dudes that I pick may lose. So yeah, we'll see what happens. As always, appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next week. Peace.